Hi guys, I'm Lima and welcome to It's a Piece of Cake. In this video today I'm going to be showing you how to make a giant Ferrero Rocher, and we're going to be doing it the two ways. So one with the nuts on the surface, and we're going to do another one with it like a foil texture. So I've popped a brand new Nutella jar into the micro for 1 minute, and that has melted the Nutella, so it's really easy to scoop out. And what you want to do is make sure that the Nutella jar that you are using has not been opened, because the smallest bit of that foil bit on top sparks with the microwave. Even if you put that white lid on, it still somehow connects with the microwave. So you just want to make sure it's an unopened Nutella jar. And once you've melted it for about a minute, it's easy to get it all out. Then we're going to pop in our biscuits in there. So with the measurements, I'm going to pop that in the description box below, so you can have a look at that if you are going to make this. So basically you're going to break up the biscuits that you're using, or cookies, what you can use whichever biscuits that you like. These wafers work perfectly with the Ferrero Rocher. So you're going to just break them up in nice big chunks, because we want to kind of feel the crunch of the biscuits in there. So break them all up and add 1 cup of roasted hazelnuts. So these are just chopped up. And then we're going to stir that all in well. So you want the Nutella basically to coat everything, and that's when you've melted the Nutella, it's just much easier to do this step here. So then we're going to, once you've coated it all, we're going to be using these hemisphere pans. So you can use any hemisphere pan. I just love these ones here, and you get 2 in a pack. So I'll put the size of the one that I've used in the description box, and I've just sprayed it lightly with some non-stick cooking spray, and that's just going to help my foil stick into place so it doesn't move around. Once you've got your foil there, you're going to basically scoop in all your Nutella mixture into the 2 pans. So if you don't have these hemisphere pans, you can use just some round bowls. So if you have 2 round bowls, or even 1, if you have 1 you have to do 1 at a time, but if you have 2 equally the same round bowls, you can just use the round bowls. Like the bowl that I've got the Nutella in right now, if you use that, you could make a humongous giant Ferrero Rocher. So because it's basically a round glass bowl, and you just have to foil that. So now I'm going to repeat it on the second half, and then once you've got it all in, you want this in the freezer for at least 3 hours to be solid, completely rock solid. If you have longer than 3 hours, it'd be even better, but I had only mine for about 3 hours, and it was pretty solid and easy to work with. So now they've been in the freezer for 3 hours, and I've just got a hairdryer now, and I'm just going to heat the top of both of them. I'm just going to lightly heat it. I just want it to be a little bit tacky, so then I can put one on top of the other one and pretty much use it as a glue to stick them on. So now I'm going to remove the pans, and then I've got the foil, and I'm just pressing really firm to kind of stick them into place. And once I'm pretty happy that they're kind of in the position that I want, I'm going to peel off the foil on one half, and then use the overlaps of the other foil to kind of wrap it all around to kind of make the where the center is not as obvious. I'm just kind of massaging the Nutella through, so you can't really see that gap in the center. And then I'm going to pop it for about 20 minutes in the fridge just to firm up. Now after 20 minutes you can remove it, and Nutella's always got that kind of tacky feeling, so you can use that and just press in the hazelnuts. And you're going to go around and do the entire Ferrero Rocher. Once we've done the whole thing, then we're going to pour either tempered chocolate. So my chocolate is tempered, and I've got my Ferrero Rocher sitting on a large cup, so a mug, and that way the chocolate can just drizzle off. If you don't know how to temper your chocolate, you're going to have to use melted compound chocolate and use a compound chocolate. But basically all you're going to do is just get a spoon and kind of, because on the bottoms it's hard to get the chocolate there, you just have to kind of use a spoon and drag up the chocolate so you can get all the chocolate right through to the bottom of it. And then you can pop it in the fridge for about 5, 10, 15 minutes to firm up. It depends how long it takes. Depends how cold your fridge and everything, but it's going to be very difficult for me to transport this to the fridge, so I'm just going to leave it in normal room temperature. And whether you're using a compound chocolate, if you've tempered your chocolate, it will firm up in normal room temperature. So now that mine has firmed up, I'm just going to make the surface a little bit tacky, and I'm going to use that to press in some more of the hazelnuts. So I'm just going to go around, just press that, and then let that completely firm up and dry up, and that's what I'm going to paint it with the gold. So once you've finished all that up, you're going to use some gold luster dust or powder. These are gold shimmer powders. You can get them in all cake decorating shop. This particular one was an antique gold. And then you're going to add a bit of rose spirit. Now normally whenever I make my paint, I kind of make a thick paint, but today I'm going to make it very runny and watery. And that's because as you can see, there's lots of gaps and holes between the nuts and the chocolate, so I just want to make sure it goes through evenly. And if the paste is too thick, if your paint is too thick, it's just going to be hard to do it that way. So if you have it nice and runny, you're going to go all around. It's going to go into the gaps a lot easier, but you are going to need to do 2 coats because you will miss some spots. So I'm just going around, just really, this will only take you a minute or so just to go around and just put all that gold onto it. And then you're going to let it dry for about 5 minutes. It only takes about 5 minutes to dry, and then you're going to repeat the second coat, which will then just cover any brown that you had left out. So that's what it should look like on the second coat. So as you can see, this is really, really easy. Anyone can really do this. This is no bake tutorial. So that's pretty much your giant Ferrero Rocher. Now you can add a bit of tempered chocolate or compound chocolate onto the base of a board if you're going to be serving it on a board, and then you put that on the bottom, and that will just secure it on and stick it on once the chocolate has firmed up. And then it's up to you whether you want to add the little kind of pleats around the wrapper, around the Ferrero Rocher. But if you want to, I don't have brown paper, I've just got this kind of like ivory colour, so I'm just going to show you, just going back and forth. You're going to do a really long thin strip, and then you could just use some tempered chocolate or compound chocolate around the base of it, and then use that to, if you make a really long one piece, you can kind of go around the entire Ferrero Rocher and just do that one piece, but I'm not going to be using that wrapper today. So the other way to do it is we're doing everything from the start all over exactly the same, but we're not going to add the nuts here. We're just going to put straight the chocolate. So you're going to either pour your tempered or compound chocolate all over it, and this one's a little bit different because we're going to want the foil texture now, and you're going to let this set up a little bit. So we're going to leave it on the table for about 5 minutes, but you still want your chocolate to be wet, and then you're going to transfer it onto a foil. So your chocolate still has to be wet, because once we're pressing this foil, we want those marks to kind of be onto the chocolate, but you don't want the chocolate so runny that the chocolate's going to pour everywhere. So you're going to wait for about 5-7 minutes, just as long as your chocolate is still wet. You want that foil wrapped up, and then you're going to pop it in the fridge for a good 1 hour. Now you can take it out earlier if you're comfortable with working with chocolate, you can, but if you just want to be on the safe side, just leave it for about an hour, and that way you know that it's just the pattern of that foil is really going to indent into the chocolate. And then you can just remove all the foil all from the corners and sides and little gaps, and then just peel it all away. Once you've peeled it all away, that indentation of the foil will be all around your chocolate, and then that's what you should have. It will look like a foil, so something like that. Now you can just dust gold luster duster on this if you don't want to make the paint. You'll still get that gold look, but this time I've used, so when you go to your cake decorating shop, they've got different shades of gold. This was a different gold that I've used on this one, and at first when you're brushing it on, it just feels like it's not going to go on. With this one, you want your gold powder a little bit thicker. So again, this is just the gold luster powder, but with rose spirit, which I buy from the cake decorating shop, stirred it in, and this is just a little bit thicker than the first one that we've made. But what we're going to do with this one is we're going to do 1 coat, and we're going to let that 1 coat completely firm up, or completely dry up, which takes roughly about 5-7 minutes. And when you've got your first coat dried up, the second coat you're just going to brush on the dry powder. But if you find that this colour is too bright and you want more of that darker gold, like I said, in your cake decorating shop there's lots of different golds that you can choose from. So this one was quite bright, and I thought it kind of gave the foil look, but maybe the antique gold would have probably looked nicer. So play around with whichever colour that you want to do. And now, as it has dried up, all I'm going to do is just use some gold powder and just put the powder onto it, just dry powder, just to patch up the areas that are still brown. If you're really fussy and you want it perfect, you can do 2 coats of the wet kind of wet paste and then do the dry paste as well. So that's pretty much what it will look like. Just if you really want to do 2-3 coats of it, then you won't notice any brown, but I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'd love to cut into one of these Ferrero Rochers to show you guys what it looks like, but these are going for my brother's birthday. This is what it looked like when you cut into the nuts one. So just all chocolate, Nutella and hazelnuts and biscuit. It was taste amazing and really rich, so you only need a small slice. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give me a thumbs up.